Hey there, I hope you're doing well. Today I am going to do a more intentional pour. So I'm hoping it will work out the way I kind of envision it. I have been wanting to do for quite some time kind of like an oriental cherry blossom tree, kind of in the oriental style, not so much in a realistic effect, but with fluid art. It's been on the back burner of my brain for some time, and so I'm going to attempt it today. This is a 22 by 28 inch canvas, so it's pretty good sized. It's almost 2 feet deep and over 2 feet across. And I'm going to be using deco art paints. I didn't pull out all the colors, and so many of my colors I mix amongst each other, but they're all in squeeze bottles, and then I've got some in cups. I've got my typical 8-ounce deco art. I usually have white and black and some of my main colors like that, titanium white. Definitely going to use Prussian blue, which is a turquoisey blue. And I mix everything 1-to-1 with Flood Floetrol, latex based. Make sure it's latex based. That means it's water based. And there is silicone in most of these paints, not by choice. It's just what I happen to have mixed up. My background color is going to be, it's kind of that Prussian blue, and I've mixed some white into it. And I was planning on just pouring it on and intermixing some colors. I'm not sure. I think I'll still do that. I do have extra white in a container, and I've got a little bit of a turquoise color, and I've got more of this Prussian blue that's really dark. But I think what I'll do is go ahead and just put, this is going to be my sky, my background, but I'm going to leave a little bit of it in the cup still. So I may actually need all of it. This is one of those icing spreaders. But the reason I chose an icing spreader was so that I could kind of intermingle my white and turquoise or any other colors I might choose in with it. This does have OGX. Unfortunately, I was kind of preferring not to use any, but like I said, I have so many paints that are mixed up that I wanted to go ahead and use. So that's why I just opted to go ahead and use the paint that I already have mixed. And I can mix up more of this color if I need to, but I want it to be a little bit on the painterly side. This is not supposed to look realistic. It's going to be an abstract interpretation of the cherry blossom tree. So basically I'm just getting it on the surface. I'm not even worried about the sides at all. So I'm just kind of making sure it's kind of evenly distributed. And I think what I'll do, I'll just use the cup that I had the paint in. I am going to put some more white. Put a little bit of this Prussian blue, just a hint. More white. and I've got some kind of a neon pink, and I'm gonna kind of just slightly stir this. I just want this to be kind of very impromptu, nothing well planned. I just kind of want to see what I can create. So I'm trying to just softly blend these colors into this light turquoise blue. This would be more effective, I think, if I didn't have the cells, but it is what it is. But I'm trying to kind of blend it a little bit, because I do want it blended. I don't want a significant color popping out. I just want an illusion of some other color in the background. And so now I'm up here, I'm going to put some white. Maybe dip my stick in, and this has been sitting for quite a while. Some turquoise, just a bit of it. And a dribble of the deeper turquoise. The Prussian blue. This is just going to be a soft backdrop for my blossom tree. So again, I'm just kind of blending. I don't want any definite color tones popping out that are really like super obvious. But I think I can live with this. You have to, when you're using this, you kind of have to go back and forth until you get it fairly even. Okay. Wipe my spatula off so it doesn't dry with the paint on it. Some pretty colors in the cup there. So I'm going to take a brown and, like, I have on my phone an oriental painting, and my painting is not going to look anything like this, but it just gives me a feel for how they shape their trees, that kind of thing. So that's the only reason I'm referring to this photograph, is I want to get the basic shape in. So I'm doing that with my squeeze bottles so I can control it. And the trees are pretty knobby looking on the edges, so I do want it kind of lumpy and bumpy. And this is not one of the nice squeeze bottles that I use that has the small spout. This is another brand, and you had to cut the tip off, so it's a larger opening than I prefer. But I'm going to go with it anyway, because all of my good squeeze bottles have paint in them already, and I didn't have any of this color brown. So just to get the trunk of the tree in, I'm going to use my palette knife just to kind of go over this a little bit. And when I do this, I go back and wipe the palette knife off. And it's okay if some of that blue pops through. But you can kind of use your palette knife too to kind of draw lines with in your paint. Or you can use a skewer or a popsicle stick. Okay, so I got the basic shape in, but I still want lots of other branches. So I'm going to kind of go out from here. Like I said, they're knobby, so add some knobs, some little knots that are in the wood. We just want some branches that go here and there. We can even take it off the edge of the canvas in most places if you want to. And just for the little dots that I drip, I can lift them out with my fingertip. And then I'm going to add, I think, a little black on one side for more of a shadowed effect. So I'm just going to trickle in a little black, like just on the right hand side or on the underneath side of the branches. So I'm going on the bottom edge of the branch or the knot or the right hand side, as if it were like the shadowed part of the tree. And again, I'm going to take my palette knife and just kind of softly blend it in a little bit. You don't want it to be like obvious lines everywhere. And you do want the ends of your branches to kind of taper out to hardly anything. You don't want them to come like to a stub. Most branches come to a point at the end. So that just adds a little depth to the tree. And I have, in a little cup, I've got some kind of a rusty orange. I'm going to add that in bits and pieces, just here and there. And I have a golden yellow, like for some highlights. So they would be kind of on the top edge of the branches, or on the left-hand side, on the opposite side from the black. And I have some metallic gold. I'm going to trickle in some of that as well. Again, I'm going to take my palette knife and just kind of blend a little bit. So that just gives a little depth to the brown. Again, lifting out some dots where I've dripped. I'm not worried about too many of them, but the biggest ones I'm trying to remove. And I've got this little skewer thing. I'm just going to go around and kind of add some every once in a while. You probably need to wipe it off. Okay, so now I'm thinking about leaves or just doing cherry blossoms. And usually cherry blossom trees, there's so many blossoms you don't end up seeing much leaves at all. So I may wait and see if I want to do the green for the leaves later. So I'm going to move. See, I even have some gray. Let's see if I add gray, if that. You can even add gray into your brown if you want to, just to tone it down a bit. But I don't know, I fairly like it the way it is, so I'm just going to put hints of the gray. I could even use the light turquoise color if I wanted to. So now I've got alizarin crimson, the neon pink, got a purpley magenta, kind of like a violet, prism violet kind of color. And I've got my white in a squeeze bottle. And I've got to figure out how I want to do my blossoms. So sometimes if you're not really certain how you want to do something, you can always attempt it on something else first. So like if I want to go like white and then pink and then maybe a dot of the crimson in the middle, and then, you know, do I want to go inward? Do I want to put my finger in it and do petals? Like that was probably way too much paint. That might be a little brighter than I want to go. So I have a peachy coral color. So like I'll try another dot of white. This peachy color, and then the hot pink on top. That didn't work that way. Let me try it again. This may have too much orange in it for my taste. So I don't like the coral color. I have one that's more pinkish. It's still a little bit peachy color, so I'm not sure. I just have to keep trying until I find what I want. Let's do pink and then white and a little hot pink. So I'm trying to decide if I want to swirl or use my stick. So this is the way to figure it out before you do it for real. So that's not too bad. I'm going to try one more. Try the alizarin crimson in the middle instead of the hot pink. So I think what I'm going to do is add some alizarin crimson to this hot pink color. Because the hot pink is a little light, the crimson is too dark. Well, I can just squirt some in. I don't even have to take the top off. So I'm just going to squirt a little bit in. So that should deepen that hopefully a little bit. So I'm just going to try one. I'm going to try a dot. Okay, so I think a little bit more white than the other colors, so let me try another one. And you want to wipe your stick off every time you swipe, because what it does is it leaves that streak of color in your base color. So I'm going to stick that base color back. I think I like that pretty well. I'm just going to go around and do a group of dots and then play it by ear. That leaves a little more color showing, and I want probably a little more white. So I'll just keep playing with it, and you can just keep watching. And obviously, if you want to attempt this at home, you can do it however you want to. So I'm going to do some over the tree branch and some, you know, on the little edges too. So you kind of want to spread them here and there. So I think I'm pretty content with this. I think I do want to add a little bit of a highlight on the tree. So I think I'll do a little mixture of this orange just right on the puppy pad and some metallic gold. Just to soften up the brown a bit. And so now I need to decide if I want to put any green to represent the leaves. So I'm just going to experiment with some paint on the side here. Some of the deep green and the lime, and that might be too strong, but I'm going to throw in some dots as if they were in the center of these blossoms. I think I'd rather have the black mixed in with it, so let me add some black to it, or even brown, but dull it down a little bit. I don't even know if I really care for the dots, so I can even just go back and lift them kind of out with my finger and leave just a hint of it. The other thing would be, do I want any leaves? So I could try adding just hints of, and this is where I would want more of that limey green. I even have it's a little bit of a pistachio green. So it's got more kind of a golden hue to it. But I'm going to intermingle the colors and just like do the hint of some leaves just with my stick. The paint on this canvas is pretty thin. It's not thick like a pour, so this will dry probably relatively quickly. So I don't expect it to really change or move as it dries. So I have green drips too on the table. I just realized it, and that's okay. I could even add as if they're falling. I need to add some more paint, and I could put a little water with it to make it really drippy. So the drips are just kind of scattered. If it's really big, take it away. As if the leaves were falling. I think I like it. you know, it didn't pan out the way I planned as far as how the petals would be on the flowers, but you know, that's okay, because you know, we can't always plan stuff, and sometimes we just need to go with the flow, let it do its thing, and be content with it. Isn't that the way life is? Sometimes we just have to let things be. We can't really control it. Just got to let it pass. So even let some petals kind of come over the tree trunk a bit. So I could keep filling in with flowers, but I do want to kind of leave some gaps. I like the light blue showing in the background, and the speckles of drips that I splashed, that kind of thing. Okay, I think I'm done. So here is my fluid art cherry tree, cherry blossoms. It's not realistic, it's an abstract interpretation, so I hope you enjoyed watching it. I'll bring it up to you just to show you a little closer. So like I said, it's not thick, it's not going to really move around, the cells aren't going to really change in the tree trunk, but this shows you a little bit of the different color variations I stuck into the browns. And I could have even, just to show you what it looks like, I could have taken some of this pale turquoise and even used it as a highlight. So I could have done that too, which would have been really pretty to use this turquoisey color. So I can still throw it in here and there. I just don't have a lot of it left. But it could very much be a highlight on the tree trunk. So I think I'm going to leave it the way it is. And I really hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed painting it. So here's my cherry blossom tree. I've got a couple little turquoise dots that are just like standing out like a sore thumb. I'm going to put a little bit of this lighter blue back over them just to, well, there's a lot of turquoise there. See if I can find some on the table. There's not a lot that's dripped off. I really can't add, I can add some white. And then what I can do too, just to kind of cover up my boo-boo, is just put some blossoms like right there to kind of cover over what I did with my finger. There, it kind of camouflaged the aqua color. So thank you for watching today. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out all the links below the video where it says show more. And if you are a subscriber, if you haven't clicked on the little bell in the bottom right, if you click on that, you'll get notifications every time I post a new video. And be checking out my future link for online tutorials. So thanks a bunch, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.